right, we gotta move on. Here's a tweet that was sent yesterday regarding. It's from Dog Pound Nate. He put out an Amber Alert yesterday for a cornerback, Joe Haden, 5'11", 195, last seen being torched by the Jets. If found, please contact Mike Pettin. It was a rough day for Joe Haden yesterday. Now, this is a guy who generally, around the league in the NFL, is thought of as one of the better corners in the game. A lot of fans here, of course, think that. A lot of media here, of course, think that. But he's certainly had his moments. Michael, is Joe Haden overrated?
See, here's the issue here. It's almost blasphemous, right, Shaw, with the Joes, Thomas and Haden. They're the guys. Everybody loves them, right? They're first-round draft picks, and they're the faces of the franchise, and la-da-da-da-da. The problem is that, yes, this prevailing thought that Joe Haden is a top 3 or top 5 corner in the NFL, guys, come on, whether it's Antonio Brown or Cecil Shorts or Brandon Marshall, Joe Haden struggles against big-time receivers. And let me ask all of you this, too. Do you see other quarterbacks or other offensive coordinators, do they stay away from Joe Haden's side of the football field? I don't think so. Do we see that against Darrelle Revis and against Richard Sherman? Yeah, I see it. How come then Joe Haden is always aggressively attacked if the belief is that he's a top 5 corner in the NFL? I'm sorry, everybody loves him here, I get it, but not for me, he's not a top 5 corner in the game.
Look, I'm not going to sit here and call Joe Haden overrated after the first game against the New York Jets. I'm not. He has already shown that he's a Pro Bowl caliber cornerback. Is he Darrelle Revis? Is he Richard Sherman? No, he's not. He's a step down from those guys, but he happens to play a position where he lends himself to get beat. Wide receivers are paid to. He's going up against the best of the best. I saw Darrelle Revis give up 2 catches to Taylor Gabriel. He's not a great wide receiver by any stretch of the imagination. Joe Haden has had some letdowns in the past, and yesterday was another one of those things.
In very big moments, too, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Cecil Shorts,
with a game on the line.
Antonio Brown,
yes.
Steve Smith Sr., Brandon Marshall, in big moments. There's no question about it. But I do think he's a top 5 cornerback in the NFL, and I do think he's the best player that the Browns have on the defensive side of the ball.
But he actually gets to pick somebody
I'm going to give Fedor an edge here because I believe what he's saying about Joe Haden being a top 5 guy. What I'm tired of is this defense talking about how good they are and how they're a top 5 defense before a season even begins. Listen, I look back, and not that we should look at 2014 and the way it ended, but the fact is 6 losses in a row now. In 5 of the 6, they've allowed, no, I'm sorry, in 3 of the 6, they've allowed over 200 yards rushing in 2 of them, 150 in another one, and they've got blitzed in big moments in the pass coverage. Until they put that away, until we stop talking about Dante Whitner being a great run stopper and hitter when in big moments when he hasn't shown he is, I'll say the same with Joe, but I think overall Haden's still a very, very good cornerback.
All right. One thing about that defense, too, when you come away and look, love Craig Robertson. Great guy, decent player. You should not be saying the day after a game that Craig Robertson was your best defensive player. That's probably an issue. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at our photo of the game from yesterday before we move on to our next segment. It's from Joshua Gunter. We all know what that is. Josh McCown dropping the football as he tries to hurl himself into the end zone. Looking through some comments that some of you have put up. Clues in there says the Browns better sack Marcus Mariota, who, by the way, now has more career touchdown passes than Johnny Manziel. They better sack him this week. They need to intercept him also. Yeah, that certainly helps. Let's see here. Posternality, reality. He agrees with you, Bud, going back to Josh McCown. As far as getting into the end zone, he's all about that.
Well, you showed the picture. You want your quarterback looking like that?
I would say this: if I were going to caption that picture, I would say, 1 in 10 doesn't seem so bad now.
NFL punchline: He's got the new clown show, the most pathetic franchise in NFL history. Ouch! 31 beat down to the lowly Jets. I wouldn't say lowly Jets. They're not a good team, but they're probably going to be okay this year.
Well, to Bud's point, though, if you're going to call yourself an elite defense or say that you've got the best secondary in the NFL or make all of these proclamations before the season even starts, I'm sorry, they didn't play against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They didn't play against the New England Patriots or the Green Bay Packers. That was the New York Jets with Ryan Fitzpatrick scoring 31, Dan.
True. I can't even argue that.